Hello, good afternoon, Dr. Spillane. This is Tomas coming to you from home. And yeah, I wanted to do my video journal. So I interviewed the father of one of my students, Lalo, I'll call him. How about LA? He's a kindergartner and very creative. He's pretty verbal and intelligent, starting to read pretty well. But he has some very troubling behaviors that can be aggressive and hurt others. So I interviewed his dad to begin to do a functional behavior analysis on these problem behaviors that LA is having. Let's see, so so the issue is that at times this child will we're trying to see what is sort of the curve of the the sort of how the flow, or what are the antecedents in a sense to aggressive behavior, and how that begins to build up into the point where he's kind of fallen off the horse. So that's the challenge, right? And trying to figure out, because sometimes it seems like it's out of the blue, and Dad reports the same. So what we've been doing is trying to track when it's happening, and talk about it. What's happening at home, and sometimes he'll spend the morning, with us, and we'll take a couple of students on a walk together, and he and I chat around that and observe the child with that other student. Yeah, so I guess we're seeing that some of his behavior seems to be somewhat a matter of overstimulation, maybe, or sensory in a sense. Could be noises, and sometimes noises seem to trigger him. The lights in the room can trigger him, so he wants the lights off. Those are the most obvious things that I've noticed, is that when he starts reacting to things, to noise more, I know that he's already sort of on the way to that escalated behavior, and his dad notices that too at times. Although classrooms are more noisy places, than home. So I guess we notice that a little more. And then there's, the loud bells for recess and stuff like that. So that can kind of set him off. But both of us felt like his behavior was a way of communicating. So we were not just seeing it as I guess a problem, but also seeing it as a way that the boy is communicating to us. So one of the other pieces where he gets, a couple of places where he gets triggered is if students don't respond in a way that he would like, or if adults don't respond in a way that he would like, he can become aggressive, kind of as if he wants to control, or he wants people to react to him. He's used to people kind of responding and doing what he likes. And at school, people don't always do what you want them to do. I know I'm kind of going on a long time. So problem behavior is escalating to, so maybe another time is like lining up. He wants to be the first in line. if someone turns off the lights and he hasn't turned them off, he wants to be the one that turns them off. If another touches a toy that he feels belongs to him, or he wants, he can become aggressive then. So there's different times of the day, and there's also that we notice that he is a little more noise sensitive, that he'll tend to also kind of stare off and kind of tune out for a minute. When he's kind of in those zones, that might be an escalation that we're seeing. So those are some of the possible things to, he moves a little differently, Dad says, when he's getting ready just to pop into that zone where he can be aggressive. I hope I've done this right. I did want to mention to you that since I got the diagnosis of cancer a couple of days ago, I've really been struggling with that information. And, what does this mean? And trying to decide, shall I continue working or go ahead and retire? So, yeah, it kind of threw me for a loop. I may need a little bit more time. I'm going to try my best to get everything done today, but I'm getting a late start. It's 5 o'clock now. So I'll do my best, and come what may, and I may ask you for a little more time to figure out how I can accomplish everything and deal with. On Tuesday, I go in. I'm having my scans, and I'll have a little bit more information. But the problem was I started reading articles about esophageal cancer, and it doesn't seem very promising what I'm reading. So that maybe I have 5 years to live, and then I'm trying to think, well, how do I want to spend those 5 years and stuff like that. And I have I have twin 14-year-old boys, and I have a wife, and so my family who loves me and supports me, but also I'm thinking about how can I leave them in the best possible position when I'm no longer here. And so I'm kind of sad about that, thinking in that way, but I can't help it when I read that I might only have 5 years, or I might be lucky to live 5 years or something like that. And then I'm like, ooh, gosh. So I'll find out more tomorrow, or on Tuesday. Anyway, they'll take the scan. So hopefully this week I'll find out what my prognosis is. And then from there, I need to decide, am I going to continue taking courses? Am I going to retire? And with that, I'll leave you and hope you have a good rest of the evening and a good week coming up. Signing off, Tomas.